How's it going, everybody, and welcome back. And in today's video, we're going to be diving into two very popular VPNs, this one over here, ExpressVPN and IPVanish, so that by the end of this video, you'll have a better idea of which one works best for you. Now, I'll be comparing these VPNs across different categories like privacy policies, streaming and torrenting, features, speed, as well as costs in order to highlight the strengths and weaknesses of each of these, and I'll also be giving you my personal recommendations at the end of the video, so be sure to stay tuned. Now, before we kick this off, if you'd like to check out either of these VPNs for yourself, you'll find links to pricing and discounts as well as full reviews in the description down below. Alright, so let's start by talking about privacy policies, as this is one of the things that, in my opinion, makes or breaks a VPN. You see, VPNs are cybersecurity tools that are meant to encrypt your online activity and hide your data from snooping eyes. However, using a VPN that logs or shares your data is like trusting a thief with your wallet and just not a very good idea. So I don't recommend using VPNs that don't have strict no logs policies which prevent them from logging, stealing, or sharing your data. It's also not enough for a VPN to just claim they don't log your data. They need to show actual proof that they do uphold those no-log policies. And both Express and IPVanish have strict no-logs policies. They've both done several audits by independent firms such as KPMG and Leviathan, so they do have actual proof that they uphold their no-log policies. That being said, if you ask me which of the two I would say is more secure and a better option for privacy-conscious individuals, then that would be ExpressVPN, and that's because of two main reasons. The first is because ExpressVPN operates on RAM-only servers, meaning that they can't log your information even if they wanted to, because having RAM-only servers means that they can't store data like a normal hard drive would. IPVanish, on the other hand, has not stated whether or not they operate on RAM-only servers, and when I tried asking their live support agent, they declined to answer. So this gives ExpressVPN an edge over IPVanish in terms of security, if you ask me, since having RAM-only servers means that they're not logging any of your personal information. As for the second reason, ExpressVPN has also been in a real-life situation where the Turkish government seized one of their servers as part of an ongoing investigation, only to find nothing on that server. So that, combined with the several audits and RAM-only servers, makes ExpressVPN arguably the most secure VPN out there. So as far as security goes, I'm going to have to give this one over to ExpressVPN, but this is not to say IPVanish is not secure. It definitely is, but Express offers just a bit more in this area. Alright, so now let's talk about streaming and torrenting, which I know a lot of you are interested in. Here, both of these services are insanely good at accessing streaming platforms like Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, and many others. I tried really hard to find a server that doesn't work with both VPNs, testing over 15 countries with each of them, but ultimately I couldn't find any issues. Besides that, both of them also have Indian servers, so you can access many Indian streaming services that most conventional VPNs don't have access due to their lack of Indian servers. Now, I would give a very slight advantage to ExpressVPN when it comes to streaming, as it has servers in 105 countries, meaning that it can access all of the streaming libraries available in those countries, while IPVanish has 103 countries, so it's short by 2 when compared to Express. That said, saying ExpressVPN is strictly better than IPVanish because of 2 servers is a bit unfair, so I'll just count this one as a tie. And as far as torrenting goes, both VPNs allow for unlimited torrenting and they don't throttle your connection, so I would count this one as a tie as well. Moving on to features, both of these VPNs have taken a very similar approach where they've prioritized the more essential features such as the kill switch, while excluding the more complicated options in order to make sure that their service is going to be beginner friendly and also intermediate friendly. As far as essential features go, they both have a kill switch, which severs your internet connection the second you accidentally disconnect from the VPN server, preventing any data from leaking over to your ISP or anyone else who might be snooping on your connection. You also get a split tunneling feature with both of these VPNs. While I wouldn't exactly call it essential, it still comes in handy a lot of times, and I do recommend you give it a shot. And what this feature does is that it allows you to pick and choose which apps use the VPN connection and which ones will use your regular connection instead. To give you an example, let's say you wanted to connect to a VPN server in Switzerland so that you can securely use your torrenting application, but you don't want your Netflix library to be affected by that change. Well, using split tunneling, you can either exclude your Netflix application from the VPN tunnel, or you can set your VPN to be active only on your torrenting application. And even though Express and IPVanish have the same exact split tunneling feature, I kinda like IPVanish's a bit more. Just that one specific website or websites. And besides for a kill switch and split tunneling, both of these VPNs have an ad and tracker blocker, and after several rounds of testing, ExpressVPN was on top with an average of 90% of ads blocked, while IPVanish had an average of 85%. So as far as threat protection, ExpressVPN is the better option here by just a little bit. And so as far as features go, both of these VPNs offer pretty much the same package. ExpressVPN has the better threat protection feature, while IPVanish has the better split tunneling feature. That's why I'll chalk this one as a tie, and you decide which one suits you better depending on what you're looking for. Okay, so the next category is going to be customer support, and this one goes to ExpressVPN without a doubt. They have 24/7 live chat support. You can easily talk to them on their website by simply clicking on the chat option, and their agents can help you with a wide range of topics from troubleshooting to refunds and even just asking about their service. I've personally had several chats with their support team, and every single one of them felt so friendly and easygoing, and not once did I wait longer than I needed to. You can just chat with one of them live whenever you need help. IPVanish, on the other hand, has a lot of work to do when it comes to customer support. For example, unlike Express, IPVanish does not have a chat icon at the bottom of its main website, and you have to dig it up by going to its dedicated help page in order to find it. And even after you find it, most of the conversations here will be with a chatbot that analyzes your request and keeps sending articles for you until one of them eventually helps your situation. And if you try to ask for live chat support in case one of those articles doesn't help you, it won't immediately connect you to an agent like with Express, and it'll just keep sending you their articles on customer support. One of these articles has the live chat support option, and getting there is not an easy experience. So as far as customer friction, I found this to be a very annoying issue. Besides that, when you do eventually reach this page and try to contact their agent, you're going to have to wait in line because there's going to be a queue of people in front of you, and these waiting times are very long and painful. I've tried contacting their support twice. The first time it took me 15 minutes to reach an agent, and the second time it took me around 25 minutes to a half an hour. So as I said, they have a lot of work to do when it comes to their customer support, and as far as this category goes, ExpressVPN takes the win. Now, when it comes to UI and ease of use, this category is going to be pretty much subjective depending on the person. So it's going to come down to which design you're more comfortable with, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. Personally speaking, I prefer the Express UI a bit more since it's more minimal and the options are organized neatly in their own sections. IPVanish, on the other hand, has a bit more blocky UI, and the home screen has a speed tester right here and an info bar that most people won't care about, and it takes about 30% of the home screen, which can make it look a little bit messy and distracting. But what I would give credit for here is that IPVanish has a map of all the servers that you can connect to, so you can physically see which server is closer to your location, and I find that personally to be extremely helpful. And unlike NordVPN's more abstract map, IPVanish's map is more detailed with each country clearly labeled and outlined, so that's pretty impressive, and for somebody like me who likes to use the map interface, is really helpful. Now, when it comes to UI and ease of use, this category is pretty subjective, and it's going to come down to which design you're personally more comfortable with. I myself prefer the Express UI a bit more since it's more minimal and the options are organized neatly in their own sections. IPVanish, on the other hand, has a bit more blocky UI, and the home screen has a speed tester and an info bar over here that most people won't care about, and it's going to take up about 30% of the screen. So for me, that just makes it a little bit more messy and unappealing. But what I would give credit for here is that IPVanish has a map of all the servers that you can connect to, so you can physically see which server is closer to your location, and unlike NordVPN's more abstract map, IPVanish's is more detailed with each country clearly labeled and outlined. So for somebody like me who likes to use the map interface, I find this to be really helpful. So you can decide which one is more for you. If you want a simple and intuitive UI, go with Express. If you want a well-detailed map with a block design home screen, go with IPVanish. Now, as far as ease of use goes, both of these VPNs are really intuitive, and I believe any beginner or intermediate level user will be able to use both to their full potential pretty easily. That said, there is one thing that Express beats IPVanish with, and that's server connection time. Normally with any VPN, you'd have to wait about 10 seconds for them to connect to the server. But with Express, most of the time it takes less than a second to connect, which makes it an even more convenient option. And that's about it for UI and ease of use. I'd give this win to Express here just because of the server connection speed, but as I said, you, the viewer, get to decide who is the real winner for you. Okay, so next we're going to be talking about speed. But first, I want to quickly point out that it's completely normal for a VPN to drop your speed a bit due to the time that it takes for it to encrypt your data. That said, the percentage of that speed drop is what determines whether or not the VPN is great. To put it simply, any speed drop between 10 to 25% is considered excellent, and even up to 40% is still considered good. But you never want to go above 40% because that's almost half of your speed and it wouldn't be worth it at that point. Now, when it comes to ExpressVPN, the speed drops consistently scored between 10 to 25%, making it one of the fastest VPNs out there. To my knowledge, the only VPN that can top this is NordVPN, and not by a lot, maybe 1 or 2% less. And when you're using Express, make sure to set your protocol to lightweight UDP, because it's Express's fastest performing protocol and it'll get you the best speed possible. So Express is definitely going to be one of the best as far as speed goes. IPVanish, on the other hand, I can't really tell for certain whether or not it has great speeds, because the test results when I was testing it were just not that consistent. Sometimes it showed great results and fast internet connections, but on the other hand, I also got some results where the speed drops were higher than the 40% benchmark. Maybe they were just having issues with their servers when I was testing this, so I can't say for certain whether or not you yourself will get good results when you're using IPVanish. If something changes or I find out new data regarding this, I'll make sure to pin it to the top comment down below or update this in future videos. But for the sake of this comparison, I'm going to have to give this win over to ExpressVPN. Alright, so last but not least, let's talk about cost. Despite both being very affordable premium VPNs, IPVanish is the more budget-friendly option here, not only because their annual plan starting at $3.33 per month is cheaper than ExpressVPN's $8.33 per month annual plan, but also because they have an even more affordable option at $2.18 a month for the 2-year plan. And that's a slight criticism I have for ExpressVPN, the fact that they don't have a 2-year plan in place, while most other VPNs like Nord, IPVanish, and Surfshark all have that option. That being said, Express is still pretty affordable, and you can drop the price even further by using the discount link in the description below. Now, if we're talking about value, both VPNs offer great value compared to their pricing. Despite IPVanish being slightly slower and not offering the same level of security as ExpressVPN, it's still a fantastic and secure option that works consistently with streaming and has all the essential features while being the more affordable option. Besides that, unlike Express, which can only support a maximum of 8 devices with one account, IPVanish will allow you to secure an unlimited number of devices regardless of the plan you choose. So as far as value goes, with IPVanish you're getting a lot more value than what you paid for essentially. Now, despite being the more expensive option here, Express also gives you great value that over justifies its price. It has servers in more countries, it's more responsive and intuitive, has an extremely knowledgeable and professional customer support department, and it's the most secure VPN on the market right now. So even though you're paying slightly more per month, you're going to be getting a lot of value with Express. Besides that, they both come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can test them out for yourself and decide which one works best for you, and if you don't like either one, you can just cancel and ask for a refund and get your money back. Alright, so after all of that, what's the bottom line? Which one would I say is the better option? Well, it's going to depend on what you're looking for in a VPN. If you want the overall best, most secure VPN that has more countries, better customer support, consistent and fast speed, and is more responsive and intuitive, then ExpressVPN should be your go-to. However, if you want an even more affordable VPN that gets the job done without sacrificing any of the necessary security features that you would usually get with the more expensive VPNs, then IPVanish could be right up your alley. Ultimately, the better choice always goes back to what you yourself are going to be looking for in a VPN. And that'll be all for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to use the links in the description to grab yourself the best possible discounts and check out the full in-depth reviews as well if you want to know more about any of these VPNs. Besides for that, like and subscribe to see more of these videos, and let me know in the comments if there's anything cybersecurity you'd like me to cover. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.